Yeah, very big welcome to you, my dear Virgo, and always a big welcome to those who felt like in this constellation is a message for them or is an inspiration for them as well. I do the reading always on the day when the moon is in the sun. I'm doing the reading for. So when I look at the moon, I see the constellation Virgo. And when I look at the sun, I see the constellation of Libra. In the 365 cycle, which is then the year divided through the 12 zodiac signs, we have the month and we have each zodiac sign, which is from left to right. We see that Virgo is holding the lantern to those coming back up to the mountain, where Virgo is feeling comfortable. Virgo is standing up here and is holding the sun in its lantern, and Virgo just had 1 month the privilege of being in the sun, of being in the light. So Virgo was very clever, and she said, well, let me hold the sun in the lantern. Let me put that in there, and I show all the other zodiac signs from Aries to Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and Leo. I give them the light. I show them, hey, here I am waiting for you. And of course, Libra is sitting on its throne and is this equilibrium. We had the equinox on Friday, and that is marking a moment of deep, peaceful balance within. And when I now change the card into the big cycle, which is 25,800 years, the Earth does this wobble, and then we divide that through the 12 zodiac signs, we get an age. And right now we're still in the age of Pisces, though it is shifting big time. And for me, the death of Queen Elizabeth, she died just a few hours before the full moon of Pisces. An era ended, a duty, a devotion that only that kind of love that she had as that Piscean energy, as that Knight of Cups, is searching for love, is going for love, has somehow ended. And I think we're really getting more and more now into the age of Aquarius. Now, what's really interesting is that Virgo was 2,150 years in the shadow side of Pisces. So of course it needs a lantern to hold its own light. It was in the shadow side. And the shadow side means that the zodiac sign that is opposite of you, exactly 6 months to each other, right, is between Virgo and Pisces. So Virgo was in the background, was the one that hold the light for those who also want to come up, so that this message or this information is not getting lost. And you can see now with these old cards, and I'm going back as far as the 1450s, the Visconti Sforza Tarot. And so in the big cycle, we see that Virgo is going into the big cycle, knows that the big cycle exists, knows that there is an age, and it's seeing. Then, of course, in between is the number 10, the Wheel of Fortune, seeing that everything is spinning and turning. And then comes here Libra, the Justice, or the Preciseness, rather, for me. Now, for Virgo, I did the yoga position mountain pose with Namaste. Virgo is seeing the past and the future from the present moment, always being born in this cosmic egg, constantly creating an awareness in the present moment. And for Libra, I picked a balancing pose, standing on the tiptoes in front of the Wheel of Fortune, but also Venus, and of course the two towers, the two pillars that give us the moon phases, and the people down here who realize that the equinox, that this equalness, this total balance is then being a preciseness that almost no one can achieve, right? So who are we here to judge? Your court card is the Knight of Pentacles. If your birthday is between August 13 and September 11th, this is your court card when it comes up in the reading. Right now, this is just a demonstration to show you from the most used deck or most famous deck, the Rider-Waite. That's why I'm using them to demonstrate. The last reading, you had a new moon and the sun in your sign. So it was very powerful for you. The 5x8 portal is uplifting you into spiritual infinity. So you had 5 times the 8, which is very powerful as the communication into the infinite loop, and knowing that you have the power to create out of this infinite loop constantly a new creation by using your words, by using your speech, by using the way you using the words. And that's where your spiritual infinity is coming into an understanding that now you want to continue that, because I mean, it's just continuous, right? It's like it never stops. So on the position of the Fool comes the Two of Wands. An action, an energy that says, yes, I am moving forward. I am going into the direction of the Fool, which is like what you do. You go into the big cycle. You are understanding that when you begin, Mars in Aries is the Two of Wands. Mars in Aries says, I am creating a new energy. I am going out there and I am wanting to be successful, right? That's the beginning that you are seeing now with the sun in Libra. You want to be honest, you want to be just, right? Because again, remember with the 2, you have 2 cups, or you have 2 to balance out. And so here you have now 2 of Wands, the understanding that also the action needs to be in balance, needs to be crossed. And there is again the banner in front of the crossing, which is saying right here in the center, there is that flower, there is that moment where you can create whatever it is that you want to create. And continuing into the Magician is coming the Child. The number 7, that is saying, I want to be innocent. I want to understand how I'm creating what I'm creating. I want to manifest for the next generation, but also for my inner child. I want to see that this 8, this infinite 8, is coming in its balance, right? That everything has a right to exist, the dark and the light. And the 7 is again the crown, is that understanding of a higher consciousness, but also in the Kabbalistic tree of life, the 7 is Netzach, is like something that you have to communicate, something that you have to bring out into the world as that, okay, I want to go further with this information, bringing it to the next generation, bringing it to those who are interested in, right? It's not telling people what to do. It's actually living the example and then hoping that people are inspired by it and wanting to live like you. And that gives you the 2 of Swords on the position of the High Priestess. Libra, Moon in Libra, the 2 of Swords. You see the Libra sign up here. And of course the Sun is in Libra, not the Moon. You are in the Moon, right? Or the Moon is in your sign. So there is an equilibrium happening mentally. And the High Priestess is not a person, it's a state of consciousness in your brain. And so is the Fool, and so is the Magician. The first 4 cards of the 22 major arcana, these are state of consciousness. There is not yet a zodiac sign attached to. And so here the state of consciousness is saying, with a 2-2 portal, right? 2 of Swords and 2 of Wands. And of course, this is masculine and this is masculine. So 2 masculine energies are framing this child. And so you are understanding something very profound, because the 2 wands are crossing and the 2 of Swords are crossing as well. And you can see how the swords are pointing upwards, and it's the Lord of Peace restored. So if you take action on what it is that you want to do in your life, right, by beginning now in this month to see what Libra is giving you, the influence of Libra, the sun is highlighting now the moon that is in your sign, then you can see that here is something quite profound speaking to you, because you have a 2-2 portal framing a 7. And so, yeah, you are beginning to understand that the children are eager to manifest, eager to know, eager to understand, and bringing the peace of mind to them, bringing to them a peacefulness that is then making them empowered like the High Priestess, making them understand that the power lies deep within, that the power lies or begins with just the way you think. Because on the position of the Empress comes balance, right? I do not call this temperance. I call this balance. A balance, a way of giving and taking, is being born, a Sagittarius. Now, you can say, okay, there is in this month a Sagittarian energy coming to you, or you can also say maybe in your next life you're going to be a Sagittarian, but I not really want to go there. I just want you to see that the Empress is giving birth, is giving importance now to this angelic figure that the Sagittarian energy is, and is helping you to find this mental balance also in an emotional balance, and of course here in an active balance, in a mental balance, and in an emotional balance. How beautiful is that, right? So it's almost like 2, 2, 2, 3 times the 2, but this is card number 14. The 1 is the Magician, which is the child. And the 4 is the Emperor, which is not coming up right now because it's your reading. And you see that Sagittarius, a fire sign, is letting you know, hey, there is something in balancing things out, emotionally being balanced, is going to make you an angel. Or an angel is coming to you and letting you know, I am here, I'm letting you know everything okay, I am with you. So then on the position of Virgo comes the Rey de Espadas, the King of Swords. These are Spanish cards from Salvador Dali. And you are having the sword now, a clear thought to say, okay, yes, I want, this is Aquarius, right? I want to use that central mental energy that I have gained through the High Priestess, the emotional balance that I reached through the Empress, a new birth, a new way of being in your energy, an energy of helping others is now helping you to be even more discerning also mentally, because the age of Aquarius is upon us, like I said, and I'm reading right now the cards from right to left with the big wobble, not from left to right. The central line, I have 3 rows. The first one, the first 4 cards of the 22, and the last one, the last 4 of the 22 major arcana, and in between just what is concerning you as that next step. So here I can also read now from left to right, but I want you to see that the Aquarian energy is helping you to be more sharp, to be more clear. You're up in the mountain already. And of course, Aquarius is always up in the mountain. He's very, very bright, very sharp in the way he thinks. So this is a strong energy for you, because if I put you now into the big cycle, you're looking at that. If I put you into the small cycle, it's almost like that is behind you. And you have understood that, and that's why you are able to move forward, right? From left to right. You're able to say, okay, I got it. Let me move forward, but you're not really moving a lot, right? Here, it's like you are looking at it, and you are faced by someone that's saying, turn around, go this way. Go the big cycle. Like, you should know from your soul that this is your path. And of course, it's almost like Aquarius is, or this personality is speaking to you and is telling you turn around, right? Go the other way. Then on the position of the Wheel of Fortune comes here the number 30, White Rose of Hope. Very beautiful energy. Now, what I see right away is here the Aquarian energy has also a lady standing here, or it's almost like it's a shadow side. And she is looking like that. You see that? It's almost like we can see now a more clear perspective of this, because there's no face, there's nothing, there is a mountain, right? And there is a sheep, and we don't know what this is. And so here comes now something that's saying, well, I'm gonna come to you and I'm gonna let you know that things are being hopeful, because Aquarius is hope, the star, right? The energy, the age of Aquarius is the star, is the hope. Never let go of hope, right? They say hope is the last thing that's dying. So here it's like the White Rose of Hope is literally speaking to you through an Aquarius, right? Or if I put it here, it's like this is standing behind you, and you're not understanding it yet. If I put it here, and then here, you see what's happening? It's almost like, yeah, now you got the information from him, you move forward, but you didn't get this. Didn't make sense to you. And now you see this. You see this lady here standing, and you know the 3 is connecting you back to the Empress, which then was the angel. So here comes this angel looking like this and saying, well, guess what? This is the path, and I'm speaking to you. Now I'm going to put it like this. I'm speaking to you because it is important that you understand hope is within you. The balance that you're creating is within you, and then you can give that knowledge to others. And the next step is then on the position of Libra comes the Princess of Pentacles. And the Princess of Pentacles is the Page, and it's saying, here is your younger self, your child, like self. And you are learning to stand up for yourself. And of course, if I put it in a small cycle, then you see that she is looking at her, and she's looking at her, and they're speaking with each other. And she's letting her know, child, everything okay, I'm watching over you. Just keep doing what you think you need to be, just be precise, because you, Virgo, love to be precise. You love to be very precise, right? And so the energy of Libra is suitable to you. And so there is maybe a friendship happening here, right? A really beautiful friendship between this beautiful lady of hope and the flower of hope standing there. And she's just like, yes, everything is okay. We're gonna get through this. And then on the position of the Hanged Man comes here the aquamarine, the number 6. And the aquamarine is saying, let go of things that don't serve you anymore, because that's what the Hanged Man does. The Hanged Man is a clear decision that you do not want to live the way you have lived anymore. And it says a growth of clarity is coming, a still consciousness, and a realization and an acceptance of the own truth, right? Of the truth that we can see what is important, what isn't discerning, what is it that I need to do in this world. It's coming to you, the aquamarine, and it's the number 6. There's no other 6. So the 6 stands by itself. Here is the Hanged Man saying, well, let that now come to you more clearly, more precisely, because that's the movement that is happening now in your life, right? This is what's wanting to come to you, because then on the position of the moon comes the number 9, the 63, Winter's Dream. And you are realizing that this moment is a special moment to be in connection always with the moon. The moon is always opposite of you. The Piscean energy is always opposite of you. And so the subconscious is saying, the Winter's Dream, you are now in a gestation period. And it's saying, yes, go deeper within, because it's also, this is the Aquarian energy, is the central, the fixed energy of winter, right? It's between Capricorn and Pisces. So it's the deep winter. And so here comes the Winter's Dream, that you are preparing yourself to go deeper within. And you realize that, right? So now you went from the sun into the moon, and it was quite, it's a moment, it's a shock. It's like, I was in the sun, I was like this, everybody was looking at me when they looked at the sun, and now they don't see me anymore, right? I'm invisible. And on the position of the sun, then comes again a 27, a 9-9 portal is speaking to you, and you are the number 9, right, as the Hermit. And so here comes a fresh breath. Here comes then, when you're done with this, when you again in the sun, when the sun is again, right, giving you the energy. It could be then when you have your moment of the age of Virgo is going to be still half, right? We're just finishing the age of Pisces. So you have a whole movement of the Wheel of Fortune, right? We're in the age of Pisces, which is up here, let's say, and you're down here. So don't give up hope. Because that time will come where you will be again 2,150 years in the sun. And then you will show the people what it means to be deep within, connected with the sun, with the star. Know that the hope is always within you. Now, it doesn't matter if I look in the small cycle or in the big cycle. In the small cycle, I need to bring this to the people here. And then on the position of judgment, I don't like that word, again, of the awakening, of the uprising, of the new dimension that you are born into, is here this card, the Creativity Oracle. Risk. Be aware, or you will have to beware. Do not deny the risk and hazards that you see. The 35. An 8. And the 8 is saying, yes, you see that here is the infinite loop wrapped around the center. Yes, you see here is a flower in the center of the swords. Yes, you do see how the stream of life is constantly being giving and taking. And yes, you see that the magician holds the infinite 8 above him. Yes, you do understand the infinite 8. The risk sometimes is that we don't see the things that we need to see. And so here, this is speaking to you that don't deny the risk that you see sometimes, right? The risk of losing hope. And the risk of sometimes being mentally in duality, also being actively in the doing, in the duality. And that's what Libra does. Libra is giving us a choice, is saying, okay, there is the balance. What do you want? How do you want it? But your younger you knows how to handle that. Your younger you, right? Because the princes are the pages, are all 3 zodiac signs, the Taurus, the Virgo, and the Capricorn. You understand that liberation comes only if you really risk something, if you really take that path, if you really go and say, well, how doesn't matter how long it takes. When I'm in the sun again, in the small or in the big cycle, I'm gonna take, the risk to go into the Queen of Swords, right? This is the Queen of Swords, the Libra energy. She is someone that is now here speaking to you on the position of the world. It's almost like you are seeing her and you're like wanting to connect with her because she is that next energy that you could get into as a new time. It's that new energy that is coming now at you, and you want to see that this month the Queen of Swords is the one. And it's also in the next reading. In the next reading we don't have the Knight. And you see how he's looking at her. See that? Now, if I put him here, he doesn't know she exists. He only knows that she exists if he is coming from the big cycle. If he stays in the small cycle, as a Virgo, you don't understand this kind of energy at all. So you need to wake up and come into a higher spiritual consciousness for you to see this lady. Otherwise, you don't even see her. So it's almost like right? It's behind you. And so you are like her, right? The same thing. Here you see her, and here you have her behind you, and you know. But with her, it's different. Here you see her if you're in the spiritual path, and here you don't see her if you're not in the spiritual path. With the here you see her and here you know she was there. Yeah? So understand the hope is within you. Understand that she now is again looking at the Fool, because she looks over to the Fool and she knows, okay, there it begins again. A new cycle begins again. And this is what you got to learn, that everything is cyclical, not linear. It's cyclical. And you understand, okay, the Two of Wands is speaking and is saying, hey, I am ready to again understand this cycle, creating a flow. And of course, then when the moon is in Libra, maybe there is a message for you as well, which is now tomorrow. We have a new moon in Libra, so maybe there is a message for you as well. And that's the message, right, through this cycle. So I hope I see you in the next reading, because that's when we have first the Hanged Man, the pre-stage to Scorpio, the Aquamarine, right? The Aquamarine saying, yes, let go of things that you think you know. Let go of thinking that you know all the truth. You don't. And until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.